Brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear, until it is done.
Doom is back, baby! For those of you that are old enough to remember the glory days of Doom, you'll remember that at its core, it was actually quite a simple game. You moved around an open map trying to find keys to access new areas. Your primary objective was to locate the stage's exit and move on to the next stage. It really was that simple. Doom and Doom 2 were both pioneers of the first-person shooter genre and will always remain legendary games. They were followed up by Doom 3, which was, for its time anyway, the nicest looking video game ever released. The problem was, those visuals weren't matched with outstanding gameplay. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Doom 3, but you can tell more of an emphasis was placed on graphics than gameplay. Today, Bethesda has released what amounts to a reboot of the franchise, and it takes all the elements that made the original two Doom games great, but doesn't ignore the technical prowess of the third game. What you're left with is a retro-inspired game done right. One of the best games released thus far this year, and a hell of a good time for fans of the genre. I like to tell people with Doom that everything old is new again. I can't stress this enough, but this is one of the best retro-inspired video games ever made. So let's start off with what makes Doom, Doom. Gone is the auto-regenerating health system all modern first-person shooters use. Here you have to locate healing items in order to gain lost health. If you perform a glory kill, which occurs when you melee strike a flashing enemy, that occurs when you are just about to finish them off, pumping them full of lead. They flash for just a few seconds. Performing a glory kill awards health, and they're absolutely gruesome and in your face. Since it's one of the easiest ways to actually get health, you can expect to do this repeatedly, and let me tell you, it's damn satisfying. Health is only one aspect though, but the very nature of your objectives are so reminiscent of the original Doom. In essence, you're simply trying to locate the stage's exit. Sure, there are other objectives scattered around before you actually do that, including locating and destroying key objects, or taking down a central system and more. Ultimately though, you'll find yourself searching for a way to move on to the next area. This is absolutely wonderful, as it harkens back to a simpler time. The gameplay as a whole is just fantastic. Sure, the levels are a bit linear, but there's a great sense of verticality to them. Well, at least one level in particular. Said level has you climbing to the very top of a giant spire, and the sense of freedom you have is wonderful. In total, there are 13 stages, and the whole game can be wrapped up, I would say, in under 10 hours or so, if you just hightail it to the exit. However, there are a ton of secrets to be found. There are Metroidvania elements, which technically aren't very Metroidvania, to be honest, but they're a great way to sink more time into the game. There's a wonderful map system that allows you to easily spot where secrets are lying for you to discover. However, actually getting to them is often extremely tricky. I found myself returning to previously completed levels once I had acquired more equipment, just because it made exploration that much easier. However, I'm fairly certain you can indeed locate all the secrets in a level the first time through. I just loved when I had the double jump ability. Weapons and gear play a huge part of the game. Classic weapons such as the shotgun to the BFG return, and many, many more. Each weapon has 2 upgrade sockets, well, except for the double barrel super shotgun, which only has 1 upgrade slot. These upgrades can add different functionality to your weapons, including everything from explosive rounds to tracking, tech, and much more. The chainsaw also returns, however that weapon is allocated to a face button for quick use and doesn't feature an upgrade slot, much like the BFG. Exploration is rewarded. Every stage not only features a wide assortment of hidden goodies for you to try and collect, which often reward you with a weapon upgrade point, which can then be used to expand a weapon's ability to hold more ammunition, etc., but each stage also features 3 core challenges. These range from everything such as performing 5 unique glory kills on a specific type of demon, to locating a set number of secrets. You can also locate special armor suit enhancements that make you a better killing machine if you explore the stages well enough, which is how I got addicted to doing so in the first place. If all the action and gunplay weren't enough, the soundtrack will absolutely hook you in. It's non-stop heavy metal which gets the adrenaline pumping like no tomorrow. I didn't really have any expectations for Doom, and it just blew me away. Graphically, the game is stunning, and all of the legendary enemies are back, but look better than they ever have before. It's just incredible how well the environments, animations, design, and effects come together. I was so impressed from the opening all the way to the end credits, and even the credits managed to impress me as the developer did something really special with them. Now, before moving on to what I find somewhat disappointing, I should mention that there is a semblance of a story here, but I found it existed only to give you justification for being where you were and why you were hunting down all of the Hellspawn. I don't want to go into details here, but just know it has to do with a link between Mars and Hell. So about those things that were a little bit disappointing. Well, I can say about the only negative thing about Doom is that it can be a tad repetitive, in that every new area will always have a breakout battle sequence before some more exploring and then more fighting, etc. It's extremely cyclical, although I never found it to get boring, just predictable. The multiplayer is fun in short bursts, but don't expect anything for hardcore Call of Duty fans. This is not a Call of Duty replacement. You can expect a few simple modes that are best enjoyed in small doses. There's Soul Harvest, Freeze Tag, Warpath, Domination, Team Deathmatch, and finally Clan Arena. Most of these are extremely simple, but again, they're fun to play. Doom features one element that really surprised me, and that's Snap Map. Forget about multiplayer, this is where the future of this game lies. Snap Map is a gameplay mode that allows you to quickly create maps for either single or multiplayer. The interface is quite intuitive, and the community creations thus far have been nothing short of incredible. I mean, one person created a MOBA out of this mode. That's just crazy. Give this mode a try, and you just might be playing Doom for months to come. So let's wrap this up by just saying that I'm very happy that Doom has returned to its original state, or its original form. And while Doom 3 certainly looked incredible, I always felt it just didn't really fit in with the rest of the series in terms of feeling. It felt much more like a survival horror game. It was creepy as hell, but the original 2 games were something else. This 2016 version of Doom matches that original feeling perfectly. It's a fantastic video game that comes highly recommended, and when you throw in the Snap Map mode, I can see people playing this bad boy for a very long time to come.
If stopping our energy production is what you want, then you need only to destroy this last filter, and Argent Energy will no longer exist in this solar system. We will be back at square one. You have no idea what you have just done.